Hello and Sunny Bonani. Welcome to Tier 2 of BrakeAway Racing League action. Welcome to the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. My name is Bob O'Connor. I will be with you on commentary. We do apologize for the slightly delayed start. We were just tending to a couple of machinations and making sure that the lobby was up as it is supposed to be. As you can see, it is the F1 World Car settings that we are using here since the current version of the game, since the most recent patch has been riddled with glitches and all sorts of issues. So you won't necessarily be seeing the drivers in their regular constructors, but instead they will be driving designs of their own making. So that is another detail that we're going to be watching very closely here today. But we thank you for choosing BrakeAway Racing League as your league of choice. As you can see, we have an interesting contingent of drivers here today. Kid K and Quali, definitely Duke, Grimjaw, Mango, Venuccio, Estexa, Liddy, Shangu, Marshy, Simps, Billy Hendricks, and Tiago Maestro. What can they do? What sort of entertainment will we have in store? I certainly look forward to seeing how this number one, this short qualification, as well as the 25 laps of racing will unfold. Welcome to Saudi Arabia, folks. It's BrakeAway Racing League, race number 2 of the season, coming straight up. Right, folks, we will have 13 drivers to start us off. I do wonder where the likes of Josh, aka Damnesia, are. We have not seen him race in quite some time, but nonetheless, it actually looks like their teammate, Sir Lancelot, is also not here. So for Mercedes, as things currently stand, no constructors' points going their way. We will see how this race goes on along. I cannot wait to see how what sort of paces we will be looking at once qualification gets underway. As you can see on the top of your screen, we're now counting down to go time. Thank you for joining us. I see Man Ray is in the comments section. It is good to see you. I would love to hear your thoughts as the qualifying session goes on along about who you expect to be fighting for it at the very top of this potential field. I am Lipo has just joined the lobby, so at the very least we will have about 14 drivers in this lobby, which should be very, very good to see. And as you can see, Sir Lancelot is in the comments section. Sadly, not joining us in this here session. Would have been good to see Sir Lancelot do their thing. They were quite entertaining in the playoffs. And we'll get a closer look at some of the most recent playoff contenders, the likes of Grimjaw, who joined this lobby. Mohammed Levan says that my money is on Duke. Definitely Duke is, of course, one of the pacier drivers in this lineup. Duke won the first race in Shanghai, China. So Duke currently tops the standings with 25 points, having won in China. Aspexa has 18 points. Spizozo came third in China, so they are third in the championship, essentially. Kid K came fourth, and Quali was fifth, and Shangu sixth, Tiago Maestro seventh, and Lipo eighth. Simps, Billy Hendricks, King Ratcher, Liddy, and Sir Lancelot sadly did not finish that race in China. So we'll get a proper sense of how they will do when all is said and done. Which of these drivers are first out on the track? It looks like none other than Billy Hendricks, who seems to have made a little bit of an acquaintance with the wall. A bright pink livery for Billy Hendricks, who has opted to come out onto the Jeddah Corniche circuit as early as possible. and currently on their outlap. Remember, folks, 18 minutes of qualifying here in the second tier of the BrakeAway Racing League. If you're brand new to Formula One in qualifying, the aim of the game is simple. You take your car around the track as fast as you possibly can, and the quicker you go, the higher up the standings you will be, and essentially the higher up you will be able to start when the race actually begins. As you can see on the track map to the bottom right of your screen, a few amount of drivers already on their outlaps. Billy Hendricks, having been the first to take the leap, will be the first driver that we watch very, very closely. This is the Jeddah Corniche circuit that we are watching here today. It's in the coastal resort area of the ancient Saudi Arabian city of Jeddah. And of course, Saudi Arabia, a fast transforming country, as we see those beautiful overhead shots, including of the sea there. It is a coastal town, as we've just said. We'll hop on board with Billy Hendricks to see just how he likes the feel of the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Now, Sector 1, Turn 1 for Billy Hendricks has a little feel of the curves through turns number 1 and 2, using all of the limits as he now goes to the braking zone. It is a technically demanding Sector 1, of course, as Billy Hendricks has a little bit of a moment, but he manages to keep that car on track to complete this lap. It's a fairly uneventful navigation of Sector 1. Look at that split. 33.777 is the initial benchmark from Billy Hendricks. And one of the cars following on is one of either Luddy, Mshengu, Duke, or Nkwali. Those are the other cars that we're going to be watching to see how they make their way throughout the rest of this qualifying session. Just under 15 minutes to go. Billy Hendricks is on the verge of completing the end of the second sector. 102.346 is another time to note very, very closely. Being the first driver on track, it is purple, meaning, of course, he is the fastest. As is expected at this particular point in time, Billy Hendricks will lay down the early gauntlet, the early benchmark. Now into the final corner. And some of you longtime viewers of the BrakeAway Racing League will remember that final corner is where the likes of Django and C-Clay went very, very racy. Django claiming a memorable race victory. 130.018 is the benchmark that Billy Hendricks has set. I just want to make sure that we're on the right driver. Looks like it's going to be Nkwali who's going to be next across the line. And what time will that be? 30.018 is the benchmark in quali. 32.424. Another driver is on the verge. It's definitely Duke, who was cheered on in the comments by Mohammed. And 128.095 is well worth a big, big cheer. Definitely Duke with that interesting Red Bull reminiscent livery is up to P1 provisionally as things currently stand. Liddy, 129.300. It's a very good effort. Good enough for P2 as things currently stand. Esprexa nails that P3 spot from Billy Hendricks. And Shengu has also crossed the line, 130.378. And Nkwali is, of course, a driver that we were watching come across the line. Now, is that Thiago who's on the verge of crossing? I just want to make sure that we catch one of those drivers. I am Lipo is going very racy with someone over there. It's a quali lap, but they're really racing. Oh no, and I am Lipo goes straight into the wall. They were racing during qualifying, and dramatically Lipo is out of the session. I am Lipo will be absolutely furious with that. Who else has come in? Marshy has come across the line with a 30.574. Mshengu, that was a 30.378 coming across the line there. So I am Lipo will be absolutely livid. I am livid. I am angry. I am out of the session, sadly. Here comes Mango, a driver who did not partake in the first race out in China. A driver whose reputation is nothing short of well, burgeoning as far as the BrakeAway Racing League is concerned. Quite an accomplished, quite an experienced driver, quite a pacey prospect. Mango versus Grimjaw is one of the battles that we're going to be watching closely. But of course, definitely Duke has already set the early benchmark. A Sector 1 split for Mango is going to be 31.655. It looks purple on the track map, but we will get a sense of whether or not it is the fastest to come the end of this lap. A beautiful metallic green and black livery for NLR Mango, who now makes his way through Sector 2. Takes a little bit of curb there in that twisty part of the second sector, using all of the track limits. Flirting with the wall is Mango, looking now to complete the Sector 2, 59.407. Definitely one of the fastest that we've seen since we have started following these drivers. And he had to really come off the throttle there as he almost outbraked himself into that technical part at the beginning of Sector 3. Now towards the final corner comes Mango when the flashing metallic and black metallic green and black livery now sends the car screaming towards the line, and he's absolutely on the limit. It's a 26.653. It is daylight between Mango and definitely Duke, and how's that for a fast lap, says Mango. NLR Mango is the class of the field with about 11 minutes of this qualifying session to go. Sensational stuff by Mango, who is currently the only driver that I'm going to be watching. Grimjaw and the Nucho soon to make their way out out to begin their push laps. The Nucho will do so first, so we'll catch up with Grimjaw in due time. Turn 1, Nucho outbrakes himself and misses the apex completely there. That'll compromise his first sector, give him a lot of catching up, proverbially, to do. A lot of work still to go. It is an unforgiving track if you do outbrake yourself. Lots of blind corners, the walls. They just seem to call your name if you're not inch perfect as far as your line and your braking and your cornering is concerned. 33.347 is the Sector 1 split for the Nucho, whose name is Peace, of course, but will not be in, not a peaceful mood, not at all. He is at war here in Tier 2. All of these drivers have their sights set on the top tier of the BrakeAway Racing League. If you've just joined us, well, you're in time for the rest of qualifying here. He opens up that rear wing to activate DRS through this second sector, 101.885. Little bit of a moment as Estexa becomes the second driver to retire from this session. I do wonder where that is. It looks like Estexa might have lost that car on the exit of turn number 2. Yes, he did. Estexa crashes out of the session. Their quickest time was in the 1 minute 29. What can Nucho do? We saw how he lost time in Sector 1, now sends it screaming down towards the line with less than 9.5 minutes of the session to go. It's Nucho towards the line. Nucho in the flashing silver livery sets a P5 time of 129.406. Grimjaw should be up next pretty soon. Their Sector 2 split was just over the 1 minute mark. But what can they do now to close this lap out? Grimjaw, who was peerless as far as the playoffs were concerned, is going to have their work cut out here in Saudi Arabia. Mango, Duke are the early benchmark. Grimjaw goes P3 with a 28.151 with just over 8 minutes of this session to go. Two drivers having crashed out, one of which was I Am Lipo, who we saw being nudged into the wall in heartbreaking fashion. May yet have a lot to say about that before all is said and done. Spy Zozo is definitely one of the most experienced drivers in this tier. Experienced as far as the BrakeAway Racing League is concerned. Was a longtime stalwart of the top tier of BrakeAway Racing League before he was unceremoniously relegated down to Tier 2. What can Spy Zozo do here today? We'll hop on board with the experienced driver. Now on the verge of competing, Sector 1, 30.497 is definitely not competitive, which, well, to most of you will not be surprising considering it's a medium compound set of tires. Perhaps by Zozo happy just to get a proper feel of this track before, presumably fitting on a faster and softer compound of tire later on. He's got the time as he navigates the slaloming section of this Sector 2 now, as Bongani, aka Debo Crocodile, notes that BrakeAway has so many fast drivers now throughout the tiers. We saw the likes of three-time Tier 1 champion C-Clay racing in Tier 3 last night. Capoza was there. Mfundo was there. So many fast prospects throughout the BrakeAway Racing League roster. Now, here comes Spy Zozo. Medium tires. Has a moment with the wall. Spy Zozo perhaps betraying a lack of practice on this here track, is going to give it another push. 32.538, only good enough for P12 as things currently stand. Simps is the only currently active driver yet to set a lap. We know what Simps is capable of. We've seen them do very, very well. Liddy becomes another driver to retire, trying to get a sense of whether or not that might have been on track. There's a yellow flag if you look at the track map down in Sector 3, way before the final corner. Perhaps that is where Liddy might have lost it if it was an on-track moment of having lost the car. Now, let's catch up now, back with Thiago Maestro, whose time was good enough currently for P2, having nudged definitely Duke down to P3. 27.354 is very, very competitive. We've seen Thiago Maestro battle with Simps in Tier 3 last time out, but sadly for Thiago, he's down on his previous best time come the end of the Sector 1. Will he manage to find improvement through Sectors 2 and 3? He's going to need to be inch perfect, and as you can see, he is absolutely on the limit, hugging the walls, flirting with the barriers here, which can really, really invite you to possibly crash into them at high speed. So many blind corners here in Jeddah. 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes of qualifying to go. It's Thiago Maestro looking to nudge Mango down a peg or two before all is said and done. But it looks like Thiago is no longer pushing as things currently stand. Might that have been a fuel issue? The answer is possibly yes. That red light really flashing at the very least. So Thiago not necessarily in a position to push as hard as they possibly can at this particular point. Mango is on another push lap. Now going to pass the slow-moving Thiago and more. Can Mango catch a little bit of slipstream here before the final corner? He's going to try. But that car's on the racing line as they're about to begin, presumably their hot lap. Oh, it's contact between Mango and, is that definitely Duke? I think it is. Duke is about to start the hot lap. Mango's finishing his, and he still improves. Mango, 26.588, despite the traffic towards the final corner. Well. How's that for a fast lap? Mango extends their advantage even more at this particular point. This is the gap. Almost 0.8 of a second between Mango and Thiago in the battle for pole position. Who will be in P1, P2, and 3? I would love to hear your thoughts before all is said and done. Mango presumably now making their way around to give it another go. What about Marshy? They've found improvement, almost 0.3 worth of improvement. Now coming across the line with 2-lap-old soft compound tires. The best effort only good enough for P10 as things currently stand. 30.568 for Marshy. Well, Simps, we've seen what they can do in previous seasons, previous battles. Beautiful red livery that they've selected. Absolutely on the limit there through the slaloming section of Sector 1. Takes a little bit of curve and will finish the first sector with a 32.401. Django reckons that this man, Simps, will claim the P2 spot when all is said and done at the end of qualifying. Django puts all their faith in Simps. Simpiwe or Spiwe. Can they repay Django's faith? Oh, he's absolutely on the limit, flirting with the walls here as they now look to complete Sector 2. Malayan and Prince have never experienced mango juice at Caboza. Well, time will tell. 1 minute, 0.684 as he took quite a bit of curve there on the exit of that sequence of corners. Simps now making their way towards the final corner of this track. As we see for the first time those yellow details to complement the predominantly red livery. It's Simps now screaming towards the line. Will cross the line in P3. Close but no cigar as far as Django's prediction is concerned. It's a 27.846. So about 0.5 between Simps and Thiago Maestro as things currently stand. Look, it's a fantastic time, that must be said. Mango still the class of the field as they are currently in the pits. Oh, and Simps retires as they were trying to make their way back towards the pits. It'll pretty much be a one-shot quali for Simps, who completely totals that red liveried car. M. Shangu, what can you do now? We'll hop on board as Fensei has joined this lobby, which is looking very, very healthy at this particular point. We will have 16 drivers minimum here, folks. And Fense, I think, might just have enough time to strap on a set of tires and give it a proper push, a proper go. Here comes Fense now to complete the first sector. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a push lap here. He's down almost 4 seconds. So it's definitely not a time that we should be watching very closely. This looks like Billy Hendricks' in-lap, as their best time is a 28.904. Running you through the order, it's Mango from Thiago Maestro and Sims at the top 3 positions. Definitely Duke currently 4th quickest from this man, Grimjaw, who has the 5th quickest time. M. Shangu 6th, Billy Hendricks 7th, the Nuccio currently 8th from Liddy and Estexa, rounding up your top 10. Marshy and Quali Spizoso in 11th, 12th, and 13th. Kid K currently 14th. I Am Lipo, sadly, not able to put in a proper fast lap, is rock bottom of the current standings. One of the slow-moving cars makes way for Grimjaw, who is looking to have their stay among the top runners before all is said and done here. Just over a minute of this qualifying session to go. Fense may just have joined the fray, but sadly, I don't think Fense has enough time to put in a decent fast lap at all. Duke is being cheered on by none other than Don Radical, the champion of Tier 1 and the current protagonist in the battle for the championship in the top tier. Here comes Grimjaw now towards the line as the slow-moving car looks not to make too much contact. It's Grimjaw towards the line, and it's P3. 127.614 is a fantastic push by Grimjaw and a sensational effort. Duke was being cheered on in the comments. Duke has found some improvements by way of 3/10 of a second. What can he do now as he looks to complete this lap? Mango is on an out lap as Grimjaw has opted to retire their car, hoping to start in that provisional P3. Duke was looking very, very good, very racy towards the start of this qualifying session. But since the likes of Thiago, Grimjaw, and Sims have made their presence felt, Duke, what kind of an answer could he possibly have now towards the end of this lap? It is Duke in an RB19-esque livery of their own, will be one of the drivers to complete this session. But will he have enough in the bag, in the tank, proverbially, to be able to challenge the top runners? It's Duke towards the line. It's a 27.516, and it's P3 provisionally for definitely Duke. A sensational push, sensational effort. And now Thiago Maestro, despite their push, sadly does not look to be finding a semblance of improvement. What about Mango? How much further along the line is he? No, he's not exactly that far forward. So we'll watch to see how this man, Thiago Maestro, will fare before all is said and done. Thiago ran out a few last time out. Can Thiago challenge Mango? It's been a fastest squeeze, the fastest lap from Mango once again, with the only time in the 1 minute 26 seconds. Oh, Thiago Maestro has to catch that car on the exit of the final corner, but he's still pushing. He still has a decent chance. No, Thiago abandons the effort, abandons the lap, courtesy perhaps of some of those mistakes which might have been made earlier. Marshy has found some improvement. And it looks like they may yet be the next driver to cross the line. Or is it Mango? I just want to make completely sure. It will be Mango. 26.728. Could not find improvement. Is still in that pole position as things currently stand. So we will watch Marshy, who will conclude proceedings here. It is Mango, Thiago, and Duke, your top 3. Mango and Thiago in the front row. Will Marshy challenge? It's P11 for Marshy. So Mango and Thiago are your front row. Duke and Grimjaw second row. Sims and Mshengu the third row. Billy and Nuccio in the fourth row. Liddy and Estexa rounding off your top 10. What an absolutely breathless qualification we have had here. Kid K says, let us go, Manual Gang. I'm going to see flames today, but we move. Kid K perhaps slowly but surely getting used to manual racing conditions. There it is, folks. It is Mango, who used 3 sets of tires to go 7.5 tenths quicker than P2 running Thiago Maestro. Definitely Duke in P3. Grimjaw, 4th. And Sims, Mshengu, Billy Hendricks, Nuccio, Liddy, and Estexa rounding off your top 10. Marshall will start in P11, in Quali in 12th, Spizoso 13th, Kid K 14th, I Am Lipo, who is currently seething. I am angry, I am seething, I am Not sadly starting this race with a representative time. P15 for them. Fencing will start this race from the back of the pack. P16. It's a beautifully full grid we have here. It's Tier 2 BrakeAway Racing League action. Thank you for making this league your league of choice here in the second tier of BrakeAway Racing League. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. Welcome to the Jeddah Corniche Circuit. Tier 2 BrakeAway Racing League action coming right up. Sensational stuff that we have seen thus far. I cannot wait for this race to begin. The Prince of South Africa saying, "Yo, Duke, do not disappoint us." A lot of people seemingly have faith in Duke here today. It's good to see. Driver who's definitely proven themselves. Duke, the pride of Abuja, Nigeria, representing right here in the second tier of the BrakeAway Racing League. Thank you for joining us, folks. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your predictions as this race will soon get underway. Welcome to Tier 2, folks. The countdown has pretty much exhausted itself. We should be going racing in a split second, folks. Mango's a different beast, so says the Prince of South Africa. Definitely Duke in the comment section says they are struggling. He's got 25 laps to do something about that. 5 laps, the only time that the South African drivers look forward to the lights going out. It is Mango in the lead of this race. Let us see how it goes as we get racing. Mango hangs on to the race lead. Thiago Meshol looks to hang on to P2, and it looks like a clean start for some of the front runners. Someone has gone off track there, but it looks like a slow-moving procession. Duke has dropped down one place. His struggles, his predicted struggles are coming true. It's Mango from Thiago Meshol from Grimjaw, who has gained that place from definitely Duke. Here they come now, slaloming through Sector 1, and Billy Hendricks has gained 2 places. A fantastic start for them. And Sims has dropped down 1 place, while Danuccio has gained 1. And Quali has been a brilliant gainer. They're gaining 3 places since the start of this race. Fence moving up 4 places, having joined Lace. Oh, they touch wheels. Do Fence and Spizoso, presumably. No, it looks like Marshy behind them, touching wheels ever so briefly. We'll go back to the battle for the lead of this race. There's a yellow flag, presumably some of the drivers towards the back of the pack will hop on board with P3 running Grimjaw, who is chasing Thiago Maestro to be the driver in the hunt of Mango. Look at the possible race strategies. 1 stop, if you started on the stop, that should be in about a 12-lap time is the predicted race strategy at this particular point. Grimjaw giving nothing away within a tenth of Thiago Maestro, who go on the inside line down into the final corner, and Grimjaw takes it, but Thiago fights back immediately. It could be a beautiful switchback. They're side by side down in the rush towards turn number 1, but who will have it? It's going to be Thiago, who's going to hang on to the inside line. Mango unchallenged at the end of lap number 1, and Thiago, by the skin of his teeth, hangs on to P2. What a sensational run down towards turn number 1 that was. Here comes Billy Hendricks and definitely Duke, who is going to want to regain those lost positions. Behind them, it looks like Simps and Danuccio are having a titanic tussle of their own. We'll hop on board with Simps, by the way, who's being hunted down by Danuccio. Let's go, says Debo Croc. This is the viewpoint from Simps, who is hunting down definitely Duke ahead of them. Both these drivers in P5 and 6 respectively have lost a couple of positions. Definitely Duke is on the hunt versus Billy Hendricks. And would you look at that gap between some of the top runners is really extending at this particular point. Now into the technical part of Sector 2. They're also close. Sims, will he have something to say now before they get that run towards the final corner? It's going to be very, very close, folks. We're going to watch very, very closely. It looks like definitely Duke had a little bit of a moment with the wall here in this second sector towards the end of lap number 2. And Sims has caught up to them before we get to the final super fast section of this track as they send these cars screaming towards the final corner. There are a couple of yellow flags towards the back of the pack. I must say, quite grateful that we have not had any DNFs here. Here they come now in the rush towards the line, and it's going to be Mango once again with the fastest lap. And Grimjaw might just have this move done, or does he? No, he tucks back into the slipstream, and Thiago Maestro hangs on to that P2 spot. Sensational stuff, and as you can currently see, it looks like a very, very good management of the battery as far as Grimjaw is concerned. He has about 80% of his battery in the battle versus Thiago Maestro, who has also managed their battery absolutely beautifully, not using much of their ERS as things currently stand. We hop on board with Grimjaw, who is giving absolutely nothing away at this particular point. Take a look at tire strategies now. Mango and Thiago started on the hard compound of tire, while the chasing Grimjaw and Billy Hendricks are on the fastest soft tires as things currently stand. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there by Grimjaw. Loses a little bit of ground. It was about 2/10. It's now down to about 7/10 of a second. Let's go down to the battle between definitely Duke. And now it is Benuccio, both on a set of medium compound tires in the midfield. Beautiful sweeping helicopter shot we get over here. Nuccio adjusts his line to make sure that he gets his corner entry inch perfect. And Duke makes sure that he does not make contact now in this twisty part of Sector 3. Oh, Duke has to hit the brakes there, trying not to make contact with the back of the Nuccio. Here comes Duke on the outside line, as of course he is being chased himself by M. Shengu. Duke is going to try going the long way around through the final corner, but he's not close enough to get that move done. Grimjaw has overtaken Thiago Maestro further up the field now, and they're very, very close. It's a safety car, and it looks like some of the drivers in the midfield are going to come into the pit lane as fast as they possibly can. We're trying to get a sense of what exactly may have happened, who exactly may have necessitated this safety car so early on, lap number 4. The Nuccio fits a brand spanking new wing and a set of hard compound tires. Fensei, oh no, it looks like a double stack? Oh no, man, double stack even in F1 World liveried cars. We've lost Lipo and Kid K, a double DNF towards the back of the pack, bringing out the safety car. 2 cars out in lap number 4. Well. Mango leads the pack. Some of the drivers who were in the midfield got very, very lucky, diving straight into the pits when that safety car was called. Mango, of course, there's no need for him to do so. He started on the hard tires. So no need for Mango to take unnecessary risks, even if there were within a touching distance, if you will, of coming into the pits. P1 for Mango. Grimjaw currently P2. Thiago Maestro is 3rd. Billy Hendricks 4th on those soft compound tires. Simps P5. Mshangu 6th. Liddy and Marshy make up the positions 7th and 8th. By Zozo 9th and Quali 10th. As Tatsa 11th. And then we have the 3 drivers who have just come into the pits. Interestingly, Duke opted to bolt on a set of soft compound tires in lap 4 of 25. So at this point, perhaps Duke just rolling the dice, committing to a 2-stop, unless that was a huge mistake on his part. Sadly, Sims has left the session, and he will hope to come back as quickly as he possibly can. It's a brand spanking set of hard tires for Grimjaw. Billy Hendricks has opted for the mediums, now making their way out, and Estexa had 4-lap-old medium tires and opted now to fit brand new hards, possibly, conceivably, towards the end of this race. So Mango, Thiago Maestro, and Sims opted not to come into the pits. They're now making their way through Sector 2. Duke is struggling, says the Prince of South Africa in the comment section. Struggling and has opted for a Hail Mary tire strategy at this particular point. Soft tires. Don Rabico asking, what is Duke doing on those tires? Well, you better pray for a second safety car. Sadly, Kid K and I Am Lipo crashing out of this race, bringing out the safety car in lap number 5 of 25 here in Jeddah. Welcome, folks, to Tier 2 BrakeAway League Racing. Kid K and I am Lipo, the first casualties of this race. Thankfully for them, they do have points. Lipo has 4 championship points. Kid K had 12 championship points, courtesy of finishing P4 in race number 1 in China. So now we have 14 active drivers. Mango needs the points. Currently in the lead, currently peerless in P1. We're going to hope that Sims can rejoin the lobby and take control of their car once again. Looks like we're waiting for Estexa at the back of the pack to catch up to these cars which have been bunched up. Under safety car, racing is effectively neutralized, and they now follow the safety car, which sets the pace. And once everybody is bunched up behind the safety car, it will then come back into the pit lane, and racing will resume as we look to conclude the remaining laps of a total 25 around the Jeddah Corniche circuit here in Saudi Arabia. Oh, contact in the midfield. What's going on? Marshy having been spun by one of the drivers. I beg your pardon. No, Duke. No, Marshy, I beg your pardon. Having been spun there in the midfield. Debo Croc says, this man, Duke, is betting on another safety car. Will he get it? Can he get it? Well, time will tell. He came out of the pit lane on a set of soft compound tires. Duke currently P11. So, Sims thankfully has rejoined the lobby before the safety car comes back into the pits. It is Mango from Thiago Maestro from Sims in your top 3 positions. I'm Shengu, currently in P4. Marshy, P5. Spyzozo, veteran driver, in P6. Letty, currently 7th from Grimjaw. And Quali, 9th. Billy Hendricks, 10th. Definitely Duke, 11th from the Nucho, Fensei, and Estexa, who round off your field here. As you can see, none of the top 7 have pitted. Neither has Inquali. May have had an issue as far as maintaining their pace. Currently P9, despite not having come into the pits, would have hoped to be in that P8 spot, currently occupied by Grimjaw, with that Audi Sport livery today. Grimjaw has a decent chance to claim some decent points here. Grimjaw is, of course, an Alfa Romeo driver, as is this driver, Marshy. Their teammates are Grimjaw and Marshy. And the safety car is coming in this lap. Both Grimjaw and Marshy do not have any points. As things currently stand, golden opportunity for them to do something very special here for Team Alfa Romeo. Marshy, that was interesting. Started on the softs, is really rolling the dice here. We've had a couple of laps under the safety car. How much will they suffer now towards the end of this first stint? Well, folks, we saw Thiago Maestro versus Sims earlier on. I look forward to Thiago versus Mango, because that battle has been set off by Mango, who exited that final corner and wasted no time. M. Shengu, already 1.2 seconds back, is being hunted down by Marshy, who takes the inside line on M. Shengu, but was not brave enough on the brakes there. Will still be P4 as they now exit. Oh no, Sims has crashed out! Sims retires from this race! Sims becomes the 3rd driver to crash out. Oh no, and it's another safety car. Oh my word. Drama towards the first corner, and it's another set of yellow flags. It's a second safety car in quick succession. Oh man, lap 7 of 25. It's a second crash at the restart. Simps, who was hoping to be fighting for the race win here, is out. Don Ravico barely believing it in the comments. Man, oh man, oh man. What is going on? Ay, 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 ay. Simps becomes the third driver to crash out after the double DNF, which claimed Kid K and I Am Lipo. Sadly, bringing out the second safety car of the day, Mango, who had not pitted, will now catch up to the safety car again. And they're bunched up. So we'll have so many laps behind the safety car here. We really want to go racing. Will the likes of Marshy and some of the medium tower runners come into the pits finally? No. Mshangu carries on. Marshy carries on. None of them opting to come in. And Quali says, you know what, at this point, I'll roll the dice, I'll take my chances. It was 7-lap old mediums. And Duke, who was on those softs, will now come in at the end of lap number 8. What tires should Duke go with? At this point, these F1 World cars, Duke double stacked behind Nquali, and it's going to be a brand spanking set of hards at this point. Perhaps unsurprising. I wonder if some of you might have rolled the dice for a medium. But of course, the hards make complete sense at this particular point in time. Still a lot of racing to go at this particular point in time. So Duke will start the recovery race from P13. Mango has yet to pit, remember, as does Tiago and Mshengu, and pretty much everybody all the way down to Liddy in P6. So it's advantage Grimjaw because it says 3-lap old hard tires, but they've barely been used because Grimjaw took advantage of the previous safety car. And as we restarted, just before Sims crashed out, Grimjaw has barely pushed these hard tires. So we know how fast Grimjaw is. They have a golden opportunity now, knowing that the entire field ahead of them still has to come in and change those tires. We know the Grimjaw will not make life easy, even for the likes of Mango with their freshly squeezed fastest lap, and Tiago Maestro. It was a fight that we were looking forward to. Oh no, Mango out of the session. What is going on? Perhaps a moment of getting disconnected. Hopefully they can rejoin the lobby as soon as possible. Mango would be, relinquishing a golden opportunity here to challenge, oh no, for a race win. And Duke was hanging back through too far behind the pack and gets a drive-through penalty. His day goes from bad to worse. Driving too far back, and it's a drive-through penalty for Duke. No, don't go in now. You have to serve your penalty. Oh no, he lost his wing on top of that. Oh man, oh man, oh man. What is going on today? Duke trying to catch up, lost their wing. Mango has rejoined the lobby. So it's a nightmare scenario for Duke, who comes in for their second pit stop and will still have to serve a drive-through penalty at a later stage in this race. So Duke goes on to used mediums at this particular point. Mohammed Levin saying Duke is the new Ocon. Duke lost his juju, says the Prince of South Africa. Pongani, Debo Croc barely believing what is going on with Duke as things currently stand. Mango rejoined the lobby in time to reclaim control of their car at the front of the pack. Sige, figure of speech, says Duke is his own worst enemy. What is going on with Duke being lambasted in the comment section? Everybody knows what Duke is capable of. Duke has shown their quality and their improving pace over recent months. And coming into this race, Duke was expected to be fighting pretty much at the front of the pack from the start to the end of this race. Remember, Duke is the person who won out in China, claiming 25 points in race number 1. Still top of the table, now having to fight their way all the way from P13 with a drive-through penalty, with a used set of medium compound tires. We're under safety car, soon to begin lap 10 of a total 25. Fingers crossed that we do not get overly eager drivers who crash unceremoniously towards the end of proceedings here. Here comes Duke, now having caught up to the back of the pack. Don't fall too far back. Don't make the same mistake, Duke. The safety car is coming in at the end of the lap, so says race control. Cannot wait to see that. Now, Mango and Tiago. It says 8 laps, but listen, folks. They've barely pushed too long on these hard compound tires, and they've opted to stay out. Perhaps they're going to go along and bolt on a set of soft tires before all is said is done. Duke is Mango was not necessarily pushing at the same point, but now he absolutely sends it. And here comes Thiago Maestro being hunted down by Mshengu in the rush towards turn number 1. Mshengu takes the inside line, but Thiago Maestro has that apex and will go in through the initial sequence of corners, still in that P2 spot. Has lost a couple of tenths. Trying to defend there. Here comes Marshy attacking him. Shango. Oh no! Thiago Maestro crashes out! Thiago, who was fighting for the race win, has absolutely lost it! Crashing out and bringing out the third safety car. What is going on? Thiago Maestro crashes out unchallenged. Becomes the 4th driver to crash out here in Jeddah. What is going on? Oh my word. The Prince of South Africa barely believing it. Neither does Seaclay. What is going on? Don Radical, Caboza, barely believing what we're seeing here in Tier 2. Thiago Maestro on those cold, hard tires just could not keep it on track, sent it into the wall. Ban Kobe barely believing it in the comment section. Mohammed Lavin also incredulous. Definitely Duke was just serving their drive-through penalty. Caboza says, you know what, guys? Just close Tier 2. Close it once and for all. Oh, my word. It's a third safety car in quick succession. Barely believing it. Will this be the warning that Mango takes that, you know what, let me just come into the pit now. It's not worth it. Yep, he comes into the pits. Does Mshengu follow suit? Yes, Mshengu does not do their trademark roll of the dice strategy. Marshy carries on. What will the top 2 do as far as tires are concerned? Marshy is on the softest compound of tire and has opted to stay out. 10-lap-old soft tires. It's mediums for Mango, hards for Mshengu. Expectedly so for the top 2. Marshy, Spizozo opted not to come into the pits. I do hope that we're not going to see a similar situation where these top 2 drivers on an aging set of tires risk the points. So it's Marshy, Spizozo, and Liddy, the 3 drivers who have yet to pit in lap 11 of a total 25. We've had far too much of this race under safety car conditions. Someone else who's opted to come in and out of the pits is Duke. Fishes a fresh set of hard compound tires. And you know what? It's P12, but at least to get themselves back into the points, Duke knows that he only has to overcome 2 drivers. But sadly for Duke, the 2 ahead of him will be Mshengu and Mango, hoping to do something special today down from P10. Billy has had a moment. He's sliding down the order here, driving very, very slowly. The wing is still intact. But still keeping it going. Mohammed Lavin says Bernd Maylander, the safety car driver, is the driver of the day here. I would not disagree with that. Look at that, folks. Definitely Duke. Nightmare day. 4 pit stops. By far the most of today. 2 for Esclexa and 1 for most of the field. So just three drivers have yet to come into the pit. It is Liddy, who is currently on those mediums, as well as the veteran Spizoso, also in the mediums. And as you can see, ahead of Spizoso is Marshy. Come on, folks. We really need to get our act together and get this race back underway. Don Ravico says the safety car is doing more running than most, or than some of these guys. Fensei says, you know what, at this point, I don't mind just coming into the pits and fitting a set of medium compound tires to go pretty much the second half of this race. And looks like a wing change for Fensei as well. Joined in the pits at this particular point by Billy Hendricks, who has fitted a fresh set of hard compound tires. Well, at this particular point, under safety car, these guys better make sure they do not that they do not crash into each other and have to force themselves to come back into the pits unnecessarily. Well, this third safety car is definitely Duke's saving grace, because he had literally come into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty at the beginning of the recent restart. And, well, thankfully for him, he did not lose too much ground because there was a third safety car. Of course, it's not exactly what we want to see at this particular point. But what can definitely Duke do right now? He's added just one more point to his total 25. Billy Hendricks is behind Duke, but remember, sadly crashed out in China. Liddy, who's currently P4, also crashed out in China alongside Sir Lancelot as well. This is the second consecutive race that Simps has crashed out in Tier 2. So, sad scenario for the pacey Simps, who's really yet to find their feet in the second tier of BrakeAway Racing League. Marshy and Spizoso still aren't pitting. They're definitely rolling the dice here. And you know what, folks? I definitely hope that Marshy and Spizoso do not cause another safety car by risking the lack of grip, which is likely to plague them at the restart of this race. Grimjaw, look, it says 7 laps, but this man has barely pushed these hard tires. So still a little bit of an advantage for Grimjaw in their bid to win this race in Tier 2. Here we go, folks. We're on board with Grimjaw, who is wasting no time. And Marshy has absolutely sent it. Here they go now towards turn number 1. It's the battle for the line into the first corner. It is navigated cleanly. And they maintain their order now. Someone is falling down the order. It looks like Sexa and definitely Duke are having a bit of a fight. We're going to catch up with them a little bit later. It's the battle for the race lead that we're watching now. We're on board with Grimjaw. Mango has gained a position from Inquali somewhere in the midfield. We'll catch up with them a little bit later. Grimjaw knows that the 2 drivers ahead of them are going to be struggling for grip. He does not want to risk unnecessary contact. So Grimjaw is going to want to go for it when it is absolutely safe. Mango is already up to P5 as things currently stand, wasting no time in the midfield. Spizoso struggling for grip. Here comes Grimjaw. They make a little bit of contact. Spizoso makes a little bit of contact with the wall, but he keeps it together. He keeps it on track, hoping that he did not suffer any damage, significant damage, as Grimjaw looks to hold that car and make sure that he keeps Spizoso under all the pressure. Even Mango is caught up. Mango has overtaken P3, and he's up to the podium places. It's sensational stuff, wasting no time. Is Mango now, and he's putting on an absolute... Oh no! Spizoso is spun out, and he's now down to P6 and falling even further. Grimjaw cannot absolutely believe it. Here comes Mango. Oh, come on. It's a virtual safety car because Spizoso hit the wall. Absolutely incredible scenes here. Spizoso in that battle with Mango. They made contact, and Spizoso has lost the wing. Thankfully, it's... Don't tell me it's a full safety car. It's a VSC, but I see a yellow dot ahead there. Come on, come on. Mango came out of nowhere. We were watching Grimjaw, but Mango was just making absolute light work. Oh no, it's the Nucho rookie error. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's a virtual safety car. What is going on? As Buddha barely believing, saying Mango is a joke. How on earth is he that fast? It is an absolutely unbelievable race as far as the safety car is concerned. This time, because Spizozo lost their wing out on track, Mango needs to be studied. Mango has claimed the lead of this race. And it's a full safety car, folks. I can barely believe this at this particular point. Lap 14 of 25. I do not want to see this safety car at all at this particular point. It's an interesting gamble with so much racing still to go. Nucho, Spizozo, Billy selecting the quickest compound of tire, the soft at this particular point. And this man, Mango, came out of absolutely nowhere, slicing through the field as we were watching the battle for the race lead from the likes of Marshy and Spizozo. We've still lost 4 drivers, folks, at this particular point. The Prince of South Africa asking, what the heck is the record for the number of safety cars that we've had in BrakeAway Racing League? Yeah, it's not ideal. Mango got... Don Ramaco says... Mango got handed a butt whooping. Just want to see the full comment that Don Ramaco said there. Handed a butt whooping by none other than myself. He must rest. C-Clay says, safety car number 4. We've had more laps under the safety car. As Buddha says, I cannot wait for Tier 1 with the likes of Mango, Ramaco, C-Clay, Django, etc. When we have all of these sensationally quick drivers. Grimjaw, will he now roll the dice and come into the pits, perhaps for a fresh set of mediums? Nope, is the answer. As they now come towards the line. I do hope that this is the last lap that we're seeing under the safety car. This race started off so well. The first couple of laps, I think the first 3 laps, were pretty much without incident. And then in lap number 4, that's when we got the first safety car. So everybody was being pretty much... very, very careful to start this race. And then from lap number 4 onwards, things really started falling apart as far as the amount of safety cars that we saw. Liddy is still out here on the same set of mediums. I wonder what the thinking is over there. Mohammed Laban says that Mango is so bored during the safety car. The Prince of South Africa says, Mercurial Caesar is coming for you, Don Ramaco. So we will see that battle play out on this very circuit tomorrow. I, for one, cannot wait to see how that pans out. Mango in the lead from Grimjaw. Liddy currently P3. Mshengu 4th from definitely Duke. How's that for a recovery? It was a nightmare for Duke, who suffered the ignominy of a drive-through penalty and an early pit stop with premature soft tires, but now is up to P5. Even though those 5-lap-old hearts may yet suffer challenges from some of the drivers that are going to be chasing. Espexa currently P6. Marshy P7. The Nucho 8th with a time penalty to boot. Spizozo 9th. Billy Hendricks 10th. And Quali and Pense round off this field. As Buddha looks forward to a full season with some of the quickest drivers in BrakeAway Racing League battling it out in the top tier. That would be absolutely sensational. Muhammad reckons that Duke is destined for a podium. Time will tell. The Nucho with that 5-second penalty will definitely be kicking themselves because of that. Look out at the restart for Billy, Spizozo, and the Nucho on those brand spanking new soft compound tires. What can they do before all is said and done here? Mango is back where he would feel he belongs. How much of a challenge will Grimjaw put on to Mango? Will it be freshly squeezed fastest laps? Once again, 10 laps, please. That is our prayer to the gods of this lobby. There goes the safety car into the pit lane. In Jeddah, the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Van Kobe's home race in the previous generations of cars. He really enjoys himself around the circuit. There goes Mango. Now, absolutely sending it. We're on board now with Liddy, who is absolutely being smoked by the top two drivers. Grimjaw is the driver that we're going to be trying to stay in touch with. Liddy already a second and a half behind the top two drivers. Grimjaw, of course, nowhere near close enough to go for it. But Mshengu may yet have something to say versus Liddy. Mshengu on the inside, but no, not close enough to get that move done. Mshengu was within a tenth of Liddy, but could not get that move done. Mshengu now 7/10 of a second back from Liddy, being hunted down by definitely Duke, who some of you have been cheering on in the comment section. Ooh, Duke takes a little bit of curve. Mshengu is looking not to lose ground, but Duke, has to go a little bit off track. But thankfully for Duke, was not off track enough to be overtaken. Yellow flag. Please let that not be any more safety cars. It's a slow moving car, but thankfully just a yellow flag there, which has been cleared very, very quickly. Nucho and Billy Hendricks are battling in the midfield. We'll catch up with them a little bit later. Duke has lost a little bit of ground. He was potentially on the verge of overtaking. Here comes Mshengu versus Liddy. It's the battle for P3 for the final podium spot. Liddy has gambled by staying out on the same set of tires. 16 laps into the race. It's the same set of medium tires that Liddy started with. Now into the braking zone they come. It's going to be Mshengu who's going to look to go on the inside, but does not risk it. Almost makes contact with the wall, does Mshengu, but now is within 3/10 of a second. The top three have spread out by a couple of seconds within each other. Is Mshengu going to risk it? Brakes later than Liddy. They're side by side into the final corner on the same liveried car. But here comes definitely Duke, now looking to battle these drivers for the podium spot. Mango sets the fastest lap. Mshengu is going to go for it on the inside in the rush towards turn number 1. Who will be braver on the brakes? It is Mshengu who takes that P3 spot, says thank you very much, and now Liddy will have to hold off definitely Duke for that P4 spot. Liddy huffed and puffed. He tried as hard as he possibly could. He has hung on for 16 laps on the same set of mediums. Oh, Duke makes a little bit of contact with the wall. On board now with definitely Duke, fighting for the pride of his constructor. Duke, who leads this championship, takes a little bit of curve, and Liddy, struggling for grip, is off the line. He's off the track as Liddy. He's under pressure. Liddy racks up a 3-second time penalty, becomes the first driver to do so for track limits. And Nucho, of course, has racked up a penalty, but for other reasons. Duke keeps on making contact with the wall. Here comes the Nucho on Espexa now. What will he do? It's soft tires versus aging mediums. Espexa versus Nucho, who looks on the outside but does not get that move done. It's the slaloming. Oh, sector 2. Someone is spun off. It's definitely Duke, who was crashed out after making contact with Liddy, seemingly becoming the fifth driver to crash out. Please let us hold thumbs that we do not get a safety car. And thankfully we do not. Duke is out of the race. Oh no, look at that. Espexa is struggling. Nucho has the fresher set of compound tires, and Nucho has the momentum. Nucho has the grip. Espexa fighting for his life here. It's the battle for P4, potentially for a podium if they can keep it together. Nucho has the time penalty. Nucho has the grip. Nucho has the momentum, but does not go for it into the final corner. Mango, still the fastest man on track. Freshly squeezed fastest lap, 1 minute 28 seconds. It's lap number 18 of 25. Welcome to Tier 2. Welcome to the Nucho going on the inside of Espexa down into turn 1, and the Nucho takes P4 into turn 1 cleanly on those soft compound tires. And now Espexa is going to have to fight off the specter of Spizoso, who has a little bit of a moment on the exit of that initial sequences of corners. It's the slaloming sector 1 that these drivers now have to navigate. We're watching Spizoso. It's the midfield battle, looking to claw his way up and give Espexa a lot to think about. Whew, thankfully, this race has started to hot up now towards the tail end. We pray that we do not see the safety car ever again. Spizoso went a little bit off track. Fensei almost took advantage there, but was not close enough to do so. Spizoso versus Espexa. It's a battle for P5. Whew, we are getting some sensational racing now from laps 18, hopefully through towards 25. Yellow flag in sector 1. Let it be only a yellow and nothing more. And that caution has now been lifted. Looks like a slow-moving car. It might be marshy, but that flag has now been cleared. Mango is absolutely coasting at the front. Look at that gap. 8.6 seconds towards Grimjaw in P2. Spizoso looking to take advantage. Oh, he racks up a 3-second time penalty, but will not care too much. We'll just look to get this move done, this overtake completed. Spizoso, the sergeant of straight line speed, into the final corner, but does not risk it into the final corner. Ooh, Stetsa absolutely shutting the doors. Spaizozo had a little bit of a moment, but was not close enough to get that move done. Nucho versus Mshengu is another closely fought battle that we're going to watch. Nucho thought about it, but did not go for it into turn number 1. Sensational stuff. Mango is absolutely peerless in Tier 2 of the BrakeAway Racing League. 9.3 seconds is their advantage. Make that 9.6 seconds now towards the end of Sector 1. It is absolutely sensational stuff. Grimjaw becomes the latest driver now, as we're under racing conditions to rack up a 3-second time penalty for track limit incursions. Nucho versus Mshengu. It's the battle for P3. Nucho knows that on top of clearing Mshengu, he's going to need to somehow find 5 seconds. Can that be done? Fensei is in the pits towards the back of this pack here, is now going to be battling with Marchi for that final point spot before all is said and done. Nucho is looking to carry as much momentum as they possibly can from Mshengu. Now, before they get to the breaking point, Nucho's going to go on the outside, which turns into the inside line. Will they make a little bit of contact? No, they do not, and it's a clean overtake, as Mshengu now has to settle for P4. But as this race goes on long, these soft tires may yet die off enough to give Mshengu a fighting chance before all is said and done. Let's take a look at those penalties. 3 seconds for Grimjaw, 5 seconds for Mshengu. Mango, peerless once again in that P1 spot. That gap, 10.9. Make that 11 seconds to the chasing pack. Spaizozo still looking to stake their claim on that P5 spot. Especta is flashing. That battery is down to 10% or less. On the inside, thinks about it, Spaizozo, but was not close enough to go for it. And as these two fight, they're inching closer and closer to the back of Mshengu, who we're seeing over there. But Spaizozo on the exit of turn number 2, I believe that was, went a little bit squirrely and had to fight that car to make sure that they did not lose too much ground. Towards the back of the pack, it is Fensei versus Marchi. And remember, Fensei has recently come out of the pits at a 5-second time penalty to contend with on their own. Now towards the final corner comes Fensei versus Marchi. Medium tires versus medium tires at this particular point. And it's going to be the cleanest of overtakes. Or will it? They're side by side, and Fensei has got that move done. And folks, that is the gap to the race leader. These two are almost a minute behind. They better be careful that Mango, with their freshly squeezed fastest lap, does not lap them before all is said and done. We have 5 laps of racing still to go, as Titus remarks that this man's pace is just absolutely incredible as things currently stand. Fastest lap of this race. Look at the difference, 128.955. By some margin, the fastest driver out on this track, and you can see what the difference is compared to some of the chasing pack. Some of the drivers in 1 minute 31s, but that is nowhere near the kind of times that Mango is putting on. Absolute clinic, masterclass that Mango is putting on over here. Let's catch up now with Espexa, still within touching distance of Spaizozo, who got that overtake done. Still has to contend with that time penalty, which may yet have a say before all is said and done. Spaizozo, Espexa, Mshengu running not too far away from each other. Spaizozo goes off track. Here comes Espexa. He will smell an opportunity. Shark smelling blood in water. Espexa has a golden opportunity, but look at that steering wheel. You can see the ERS levels really down, almost towards bare minimum here. Spaizozo makes contact almost with the wall. It is Espexa. They're going to go side by side here. Don't make terminal contact. Oh, my word. Espexa said, you know what? I'm not going to fight that too hard. They're within 4/10, within half a second of each other, and almost making some absolutely fantastic wheel-to-wheel contact. Without safety cars, this entire grid would have been lapped, so reckons Seaclay in the comment section. Espexa versus Spaizozo, the battle that we're currently paying attention to over here with just 3 laps of racing still to go. It is Mango in firm command, in control of this race. Grimjaw may yet claim that P2 spot. Time penalty permitting. And the Nucho looking to have their say, but Mshengu may yet claim that before all is said and done. It is Espexa on the inside. Oh, they make a little bit of contact. Spizozo giving absolutely nothing away, telling Estexa, you shall not pass. And Estexa, rather than risking a DNF, completely lifts off, but I know will not be happy with the level of aggression that Spizozo showed over there. Spizozo giving absolutely no space whatsoever. And the run towards turn number 1. Do hope that Estexa did not suffer any terminal damage over there. But Spizozo, the sergeant of straight line speed, giving absolutely nothing away versus the onrushing Estexa. We've lost 5 drivers who have crashed out. Duke, Tiago, Simps, Kid K, and I Am Lipo, as things currently stand. 11 drivers currently are the survivors, with just a couple of laps of racing still to go. Mango with a 16.5 second advantage to Grimjaw. Absolutely sensational race, as things currently stand. Has yet to lap anyone, as you can see. Venuccio, with that 5-second time penalty, is going to need a miracle if he's going to hang on to that P3 spot. M. Shengu currently in P4 from Spizozo in P5, 3-second time penalty, and Estexa. Estexa knows that they need not fight too hard and risk a DNF, but he just wants to get this move done on track, as is customary in the BrakeAway Racing League, not wanting to waste any time and just wanting to get this overtake done. As you can see, down to about 10% of their battery at this particular point. Spizozo, the sergeant of straight line speed, also within a similar margin of battery power remaining. The battle for the tire life. Oof, Spizozo going off track there and really bringing Estexa back into the reckoning. Spizozo's tires are softs. They're 9 laps old. And judging by the way he's navigating Sector 1, he's really feeling it. Struggling for grip is Spizozo, sergeant of straight line speed. But Jeddah is not only straight line speed, it is a technically demanding track. And those corners which just come rushing at you are unforgiving. If you're in Spizozo's situation and your tires are really starting to scream for grip. Oh, Spizozo flirting with the walls once again. Here comes Estexa. Now, within half a second, he's going to use that DRS, opens up that rear wing. Spizozo flashing, draining that battery, knowing that he's at risk in the run towards this final corner. Spizozo tries to hang on, but on the exit, you saw that car really shaking the rear. Fensei becomes the latest driver to crash out. 4-lap old softs. We're holding thumbs that we do not get another safety car. It's the penultimate lap here, folks. Thankfully, Fensei crashing out means we do not get another safety car. 6 drivers out. Crashing out in Jeddah. And that means Marshy will claim a point here before all is said and done. 10 drivers, all they need to do is just bring it home. No need to take unnecessary risks. But at this particular point, with Mango being so far ahead of the pack, it's a midfield battle that we're watching here. Billy Hendricks has fought tooth and nail to make sure that they're within this battle, potentially for P5. Estexa and Spizozo, knowing that time penalties will come into play here. So we'll see how Billy Hendricks fares. Used up so much of their battery to make sure that they're within touching distance at this particular point of the race. But he's losing ground as Billy Hendricks. We're going to hop back on board with Estexa, is going to want to get this move done on track. Mango has already begun the final lap of this race. Everybody will get points. It's crazy, says Muhammad in the comment section. Here comes Estexa, now on the outside, but fades towards the inside. Spizozo trying to make that car as wide as they possibly can. But try as he might, Estexa not able to take advantage. Will he use whatever is left of the battery now and take advantage into turn 1? No, not yet. So we're going to have to watch this battle towards the very end of this, but it's been sensationally entertaining between these two. Estexa knows does not need to fight too much considering the time penalty. Nucha has 5 seconds, so at this particular point, they're going to lose that podium spot. Mango is, could even afford to have a 5 second, 10-second time penalty. It was absolutely peerless from qualifying pretty much all the way to now. And that red light is flashing. They've used up pretty much all of their battery power, claiming the fastest lap, claimed pole position, and now as that car gets pointed down towards the line, it is going to be Mango who claims the race win in Jeddah. A peerless performance by Mango, freshly squeezed fastest laps. Once again, the undisputed king and race trim. And Grimjaw might yet have enough. It is going to be enough. It is going to be a maiden podium for Grimjaw in Tier 2 of the BrakeAway Racing League. Fantastically done. Nucho, try as their might, may not hang on. Their unserved penalty means that M. Shengu gets bumped up to a podium place. That's your top three, folks. Especta will come home P5. Billy Hendricks will claim that P6 spot. Spy Zozo will get bumped down to 7 courtesy of that time penalty. And here comes Nkwali being chased down by Luddy. And all these running drivers will claim points here, folks. Remember that. It is going to be crucial as this season rolls on along. And Nkwali is going to come home today in the points. Came home P5 in China. It's going to be P8 in Saudi Arabia for Nkwali. And Liddy is going to come home P9, having crashed out in race number 1. So it's a fantastic fantastic points finish as far as his season is concerned. Marshy will come home in P10. What a second half to this race we had. Absolutely entertaining race. Driver of the day, according to the game, is Spizozo. Who is your driver of the day? Please let me know in the comment section. I want to hear who your driver of the day is. Man, oh man, oh man. Great drive by Mango, says Muhammad in the comment section. Is Mango your driver of the day? They take the plaudits. Grimjaw coming home P2 in Tier 2. Beautifully done, despite the penalty over there. And safety car driver of the day. So says Muhammad in the comment section. It's going to be a full house of points for Mango. P1 in quali, fastest lap, and P1 in the race. Grimjaw and Mshengu are going to come home there in the points, in the podium places. The Nucho tries they might, could not claim that podium spot. What a race we have had, folks. If you've just joined us, just want to see if we can get some of these guys, that being Mango, Grimjaw, and Mshengu, in this commentary session. Well, folks, there is a sensationally entertaining final third of this race. It's a pity about all these safety cars that we had. I do hope that Tier 1 racing action is not plagued by so many safety cars and the like. But let's see if we can get these drivers within this commentary box. Right, folks, that was a beautifully entertaining race. We're going to see how, hopefully, we're going to get these guys within the commentary box as soon as possible. Rate my car. That was my car that you would have seen just a second ago. We will see if they will join the party chat when I get their thoughts before all is said and done. Tiago Maestro, sadly, having crashed out, it would have been a sensational prospect to see how they would have fared towards the end of this race. All right, folks, it does not seem that I'll be able to get them in this here party chat. They're not responding to my invites at this particular point. So we will end things on that note. Oh, well, just as I say that, I've been joined by none other than Grimjaw, who came home in the second podium spot. It's their debut in Tier 2 of BrakeAway Racing League. Grimjaw, you managed to hang on despite the time penalty there. Take us through, number one, the quali, how you felt there. Congratulations, it's a podium. How did that feel? It's a pity about these safety cars. Yeah. And at the safety car restarts, pretty much both of them. How hard was, or how tricky was it? Number one, to avoid contact, and was it just a case of try and get away from the traffic up until you felt you would have been safe enough to get to the end? Wow. Oh man, yeah. When we lost the Sims, we were quite surprised as well. Tell us how you're feeling about the next track. I believe it might be Baku. How are you feeling about your prospects there? What, you haven't raced it in terms of league racing or generally? All right. All right, man. We look forward to seeing you. We know when things are going okay, and when you feeling comfortable, you can pretty much challenge the guys towards the front of the pack. So we wish you all the luck. We will see you in Baku next week. Congratulations on that podium spot, and thank you very much. All right, thank you, Grim Jaw, having joined us now in the comments section, and we will catch up with the rest of you in in Baku next week for Tier 2, and we will catch up with you on this circuit for Tier 1 tomorrow at it could be 7:30, it could be 8, depending on the number of Tier 1 drivers that we have. But thank you, everybody, and good night.